Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Girivarada Rasodanandana Braja Janarandana Yashodanandana Braja Janarandana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare 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 Rama Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Parivrajagacharya Ashtottara Shata Shrimad Divine Grace Abhaya Charanaravindra Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki ISKCON Founder Acharya BBT Founder Acharya Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Verse is coming here on the screen. You can see. Is it verse number 42? Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvanmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtham Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupah Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guroho Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashta Prayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishthiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha Shri Shri Radha Govinda Dev Ki Shri Shri Gaur Nitai Ki. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class this morning at Shri Shri Radha Govind Temple. We are all reading from the third canto, 28th chapter, text number 42. Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam Sarva bhutani chatmani Ikshetananya bhavena Bhuteshvivatadaatmatam Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam Sarva bhutani chatmani Ikshetananya bhavena Bhuteshvivatadaatmatam Sarva bhuteshu chatmanam Sarva bhutani chatmani Shetananya bhavena Bhuteshva vitathatmana atmatam. Sarvabhuteshu chatmanam. Sarvabhutani chatmani. Ikshetananya bhavena. Bhuteshviva tadatmatam. 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 Sarvabhuteshu, in all manifestations. Cha and atmanam, the soul. Sarvabhutani, all manifestations. Cha, also. Atmani, in the Supreme Spirit. Iksheta, he should see. Ananya bhavena, with equal vision. Bhuteshu, in all manifestations. Iva, as. Tadatmatam, the nature of itself. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. A yogi should see the same soul in all manifestations, for all that exists is a manifestation of different energies of the Supreme. In this way, the devotee should see all living entities without distinction. That is realization of the Supreme Soul. Purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, not only does the Supreme Soul enter each and every universe, but he enters even the atoms. The Supreme Soul is present everywhere in the dormant stage, and when one can see the presence of the Supreme Soul everywhere, one is liberated from material designations. Prahlad Maharaj was so advanced, he told his father, "You have brought a sharp sword to sever my head from my body. But my dear father, I can see Lord Vishnu even in the sword. Even in the sword, in every atom of the sword, I am seeing my dear Supreme Lord. So even if the sword severs my head, I feel it like the embrace of Vishnu." That was Prahlad Maharaj's consciousness. Not only he saw the Lord in every atom, even in the pillar, or in the heart of his father, in his own heart, but he saw the Lord even in the sword. This comes in Vishnu Purana. There is a shloka which says this. Prahlad saw Lord Vishnu smiling in every atom of that sword. So in this way, the Lord is present everywhere. The word Sarva Bhuteshu is to be understood as follows. There are 4 different divisions of species, living entities which sprout from earth, living entities born of fermentation or germination, living entities which come from eggs, and living entities which come from the embryo. So these 4 are called as Udbija, means the living entities which come from the seed. Like we plant a seed in the ground and the sapling comes, then it becomes a mango tree. That is called Udbija. Bija means a seed. That's the first one. And living entity is born of fermentation or germination. That is like the like we see when body sweats. From that sweat you can see bed bugs coming. Bed bugs. But it appears that the fermentation process gives rise to living entities. No. They are already there. The souls are present there. And then he says that thirdly, Living entities which come from the eggs, like the birds. The birds are also called dvija. Ja means to take birth. Dvi means two times. First, first birth is the egg comes out, and second birth is egg hatches and the bird comes out. It's called dvija. Two times they are born. Like a chicken also. Chicken is born from the eggs. Birds are born from the eggs. And the fourth one is called Jarayuja. So Udbija, Andaja, Shvedaja, Jarayuja. Fourth one is called Jarayuja, which is living entities which come from the embryo. Like all of us, we have come from the womb of the mother. Like a cow gives birth to a calf, horse gives birth to a pony. They all come from the embryo. These four divisions of living entities are expanded in 8.4 million species of life. A person who is freed from material designations can see the same quality of spirit present everywhere or in every manifested living entity. Whether the living entity is small or living entity is big, a devotee of the Lord sees that wherever there is life principle, the same type of living entity is seated in that material body, bodily machine. Prabhupada says in one of his lectures, sometimes when you open an old book, you find a dot-like creature moving. You have seen that? Like that it moves. It just looks like a dot moving. Because of its movement, you can be sure that it is a living entity, although it looks so small. On the other hand, sometimes you find a gigantic creature like an animal, like a elephant. In that huge body of the elephant also, same type of living entity is present. So the living entity may power the elephant, or the living entity may power a small, tiny creature. But in both cases, there is a spirit inside the body of the elephant, inside the body of the tiny creature. Without the spirit, the bodily machine cannot move by itself. For that matter, no machine in this world can move on its own without intervention of a spirit. That point we will discuss more as we proceed. So, less intelligent men think that plants and grass grow out of the earth automatically, but one who is actually intelligent and has realized the self can see that this growth is not automatic. The cause is the soul, and the forms come out in material bodies under different conditions. By fermentation in the laboratory, many germs are born, but this is due to the presence of the soul. The material scientist thinks that eggs are lifeless, but that's not a fact. From Vedic scripture, we can understand that living entities in different forms are generated under different conditions. Birds evolve from eggs, and beasts and human beings are born from the embryo. The perfect vision of the yogi or devotee is that he sees the presence of the living entity everywhere. So the living entity is called Sarvaga. Ga means to go, Sarvaga means everywhere. He keeps roaming. The other day I was coming in the plane was about to land. I saw in the road, so many cars were moving back and forth. So all living entities are super busy, moving around, moving from one place to another. So you will see that every living being has come with a program to this world. And what is that program? Program to enjoy. Whenever you go to any place, people ask you, how many days program have you made and what is your plan? Any of you think for a moment, do you go to any place, anybody's home or any place without any plan? Do you travel anywhere without any plan? Think about it. You have some intention. You go to give some interview, or you go to give some examination, or you go to meet some relatives, or you go for some excursion. You go to Disney World or SL people go. You go with some intention to get something out of that travel. Nobody travels without a purpose. Similarly, all the living entities in this world, they are all traveling from one place to another. Sometimes they are seated in the body of a king. Sometimes seated in the body of a poor man. Sometimes the living being is an angel. Sometimes the living entity is sitting in the body of an animal, or even a reptile or a cockroach or an aquatic or bird or whatever. Living beings are moving constantly. They have some purpose. in the Mahabharata, I'll narrate one short pastime which will illustrate this point. Why the living entity is moving? It has a purpose. So when Pandavas, headed by Yudhishthira Maharaj, they were in the forest. One time they went to a forest called Vrishakaya Pavan. From the Kamya Kavan, they went to Vrishakaya Pavan. So whenever the Pandavas would reach a new forest, the first thing they would do is to send Bhima to go out to find out where are the water bodies and whether we can get some vegetables, fruits and berries in the forest. And is this place safe to live? And go around and see what all are worth visiting in the neighborhood. So all this homework will be done by Bhima. Bhima being the most mighty and strong. Bhima was so mighty that he could even carry all his brothers on his shoulder and run also in the forest. And he never needed a weapon at all. He would go with bare hands. Sometimes the forest animals like wild boar may come on the way, he would just give a slap and it will just roll into like a ball to the corner. Even if an elephant comes, he can catch the elephant by the trunk and twist it and knock it down. He had so much power he had. If any trees would come on the way, he could up it and throw it. So Bhima was actually very daring personality. So he was walking like that. As he proceeded in the jungle way, it was in the side of the Himalayas. On one side there was mountain, other side forest. So he was walking midway. So he was clearing the path to look for the water bodies and all that. Suddenly he encountered a big serpent, which was completely yellowish with black dots all over his body, with bloodshot eyes and his forked tongue. He was doing, You've seen that? How the snakes, they have a poisonous tongue. So when he saw, it was a thick snake, it was a mountain snake. You have seen a ajgar, you have seen? It was a thick snake, it was. Big, wrapped, it was having the coils around like this, and it was with hoods up. It was staring at Bhima on the way. Just as you would deal with any creature, he just caught hold of the tail of the snake. He thought, I will roll it and beat it on the ground. But the moment he caught the tail, the snake wrapped him up with a strong grip. So much so that Bhima just couldn't even move budge an inch. And Bhima was taken by surprise. What kind of creature is this? Nobody in this world have ever defeated me. For the first time, I am seeing myself in the grip of a serpent. He doesn't appear to be an ordinary personality. So he asked the snake, who are you? Because you have overpowered me, you must be mightier than me. You must be some great personality. Tell me who you are. And the snake surprisingly spoke to him. He said, my dear Bhima, my name is Nahusha. And I was in the heaven as occupying the post of Indra. But I offended the Saptarishis, the great sages, 7 great sages, because I became infatuated by false pride. When I ascended to heaven, at that time I was an ordinary king on earth. The demigods had lost the previous Indra, who had committed some offense due to which he was out of the post. Therefore, they were searching for somebody qualified to occupy the post of the king Indra. So when they were roaming in the earth, I happened to be there ruling the earth. So they came to me and saw that I have done 98 sacrifices. So I was falling short of 2 to become Indra. So the demigods contributed one sacrifice from their account and made it 100. And they took me to heaven. I was telling them, I am not qualified, I am very small, I am ordinary earthly king, how can I rule the heaven? They insisted that we have no one else available, you should come. So I accepted the post of the Indra. But as soon as I sat on the throne, I became infatuated by false pride. And then I started tormenting the living beings in heaven, the heavenly people. I started exploiting everybody. Everybody was talking about me there. Everybody was afraid of me. I controlled the people by fear. And then one day I had wanted to enjoy with Sachi, who was actually ex-Indra's wife. I sent her a notice that come to my palace. So Sachi became worried. She immediately consulted the Brahmins, the Sapta Rishis, that this fellow is calling me to his palace, but I am not his wife. I am wife of the previous Indra. So what should I do now? I am afraid. Saptarishi said, Vinasha Kale Viparita Buddhi. When a person's destruction has come, he goes berserk. He has gone mad now. At this point of time, he deserves a solid punishment. So Saptarishis told her, you just tell him that you will only receive him in your palace if he comes to meet you, but he should come in the palanquin which will be lifted by the 7 rishis. So this fellow was so grossly foolish, he called for the Saptarishis and said, take me in the palanquin, all of you lift the palanquin. Can you imagine? He's getting service done from Brahmins. So the Brahmanas lifted the palanquin, 4 on one side and 3 on the other side. And then he sat in the palanquin. And amongst the 7 rishis, one was very short, just like I am very short like that. One was, who is the shortest one amongst rishis? Sapta rishis, the shortest one is Agastya. He was the shortest. So the palanquin was going slightly like this. So, and they were walking slowly. So, this fellow, Nahusha, he shouted at them, why are you so slow? I want to meet Sachi quickly. Sarp, sarp, he said. And he lifted his foot out and kicked on the head of Agastya, on the jata of Agastya. Agastya immediately spelled out a curse. He said, you are asking us to go sarp. Sarpa has a double meaning. Sarp means go fast. Another meaning of sarpa is snake. So he said, you become a snake because you are evil-minded and envious of Brahmins and other people. You have no dignity or respect for learned people, nor are you looking at all the other living beings compassionately. You are looking at them with a mood of exploitation. So you deserve to be cursed. And then he cursed. At that time, this fellow came to his senses. Immediately got up the palanquin and fell on the ground and sought forgiveness. The rishi said, the curse cannot be taken back, but I give you a blessing. Every day at noon time, you will get something to eat. You will not be starving. Plus, if you get answers to 2 questions, due to which you became so falsely proud, if you get answers to 2 questions, then you will be able to cast off this body of snake and you can return back to heaven. So like this, he told him 2 questions and then told him, this is the way you can get liberated from the snake's body. And that fellow fell down to the Antariksh. He came gliding down, down, down. And then he came and fell in the Himalayan mountain range on the road. So when Bhima was coming, that was the snake. Who? Nahusha. He had become a yellow snake with black dots, I told you. Huge snake. So, and then Nahusha told him, my dear Bhima, by the destiny arranged for me by Agastya, you became my lunch box today. So, I am, by the way, your ancestor Nahusha. That doesn't mean I'm going to spare your life today. Because I have to eat my food. I can't remain hungry. So then Bhima asked him, oh great Nahusha, can you tell me, is there any way my life can be spared by you? And Nahusha said, there is only one way, as I told you. If you can answer my 2 questions, what the Rishi has given me, then I will be liberated from this snake body and you will be liberated from me. He said. Then Bhima said, I am not used to answering such questions. That is only done by my brother, Yudhishthira Maharaj. He is a very wise personality. I am not as wise as him. I generally answer with this. I only give punches for people. That's my way of answering. So, then Nahusha said, then what can be done? Yeah, you have to be eaten by me because I have to survive. I am going to eat you up. Meanwhile, Yudhishthira Maharaj in the hut, he was worried. He saw some bad omens. He told Draupadi that I will quickly go to the forest and search after my brother and come back. So he started walking the pathway and he saw a lot of trees uprooted and animals slapped and thrown to the side, and he watched all that. He was sure that Bhima must have been on the way. So he walked in the same route, and then he arrived at the same point where the snake was there and Bhima was in the grip of the snake. So Yudhishthira Maharaj, as soon as he approached nearby, Bhima told him, "Oh brother, thank you for coming at the right time." And then he told about Nahusha. And the snake told Yudhishthira, "Don't come near. If you come near, I will catch and keep you for tomorrow. So you cannot come near. Your brother is in my grip. Unless you answer my 2 questions, I can't spare your brother." So he asked him, what are the 2 questions? Then the first question he asked, who is a Brahman? Then Yudhishthira Maharaj spoke. Shamad damat tapas shaucham kshantirajyavam evacha jnanam vijnanam astikyam brahma karma svabhajam. A Brahmana is one who is controlled in his mind, controlled in his senses, and he performs devotional austerities, and he is clean in body and speech and mind, and he is also forgiving and tolerant, and he is always pious and religious, aligned with the scriptures, and he has wisdom, and he also applies that wisdom in his life. In this way, the Brahmana has many sublime qualities which are dear to Lord Vishnu. So he said, anyone who possesses these qualifications is a Brahman, he said. And then the snake asked him, are all the people born in Brahmana family Brahmanas? So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, in the dawn of creation, the son of a Brahman was Brahman, son of a Kshatriya was Kshatriya, son of a Vaishya was Vaishya, like that. But later on, you all know there are 4 classes, Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. Teachers, administrators, traders, artisans. So generally the son of an artisan would be artisan, son of a teacher would be teacher in the ancient times. But later on, intercaste marriages happen, due to which nobody could clearly ascertain who is who. So therefore, the snake, used to told the snake, the best way you want to ascertain somebody's category, whether he's Brahmana or not, you have to see by the qualities. Once, jasya lakshanam proktam, pumso varnapi vanjakam, yad anyatrapi drishyeta. Like that, Narada says, one should see the qualities and activity. How do you know who is the Brahman? For example, if you keep 4 tables, in first table you keep books, scriptures. Second table you keep weapons, like sword and shield and mace and all that. Third one you keep some coins, gold coins, silver coins, and currency notes. And the fourth one you keep food, clothing, and such kinds of things you keep. As soon as a person comes, look at him, which table he is gravitating towards. A Brahmana is a person of word, and Kshatriya is a person of sword, and Vaishya is a person of economy, and Shudra, the 4th category of people, they are people, they cannot think, but they will do what they are told to do. And they are only concerned about food, clothing, shelter, generally. Anybody who provides them this, they will work for them. Like that. These are 4 categories. So, in the Brahmana category, people who are Brahmana, they are fond of literature, poetry writing, philosophy, research, advising, giving justice, thinking, planning, these kind of things. The Brahmanas are good at these kind of things. And Kshatriyas, 2nd category people, they are very fond of strategy, planning, organizing, coordinating, controlling. Shauryam tejo dhritir dakshyam yuddhe chapi palayanam dhanam yishvara bhavascha kshatra karma sabhavajam. He's saying Shauryam means chivalrous nature, boldness. Tejo means they influence people by their prowess. Dhriti means determination. Dakshyam, shrewdness, expertise. They can't be cheated very easily. Yuddhe chapi palayanam. They are daring in war. They'll never turn back, no matter how much challenging situations they have to face. Dhanam, they're generous in charity. Ishwara bhavam is leadership. So these are all the qualities of a second category, administrator, Kshatriya. So like that, each category is explained in the scripture. So when Yudhishthira explained about the Brahman, he understood. So we have to see by quality and activity. What qualities we possess and what activity we naturally are attracted to. One can understand. Like I saw in Calcutta, two people, Gauranga Prabhu and Radha Raman Prabhu and myself. We three of us were in one like crossword type of one shop, big shop with a lot of books and everything. So as well as Radhanath Maharaj was having this journey home launching. There was one hall type of thing in that place he was supposed to have. We were waiting for Maharaj to come, half an hour. So I saw Gaurang Prabhu immediately got into the book section and he saw the philosophical books section. He pulled out some books and he took out his diary and noting down some shlokas. He is a nectar collector. He knows if anywhere he finds something interesting, he'll immediately note down and memorize it. So later on he will quote in his lectures also. And Radha Raman Prabhu, he handles legal cases and land and property of ISKCON related things and all. And he already has been handling 30, 40 cases, court cases in Calcutta. So when he was there, he saw one CD and that CD was having songs which are taken from ISKCON and they are selling it. Immediately noted, who are the people? I'm going to take them to court. He likes battle. He likes war. So you'll see all of us, we have our propensity. The propensity is so deep-rooted. Anywhere you go, it's a bookshop. One fellow is looking for books. He's a man of word and man of sword. You will see that. Everybody has that, our nature like that. So we can see by the qualities of people. Can see that. So when he told that, then the second question he asked, he said, in this world, all living beings are afflicted by desire, anger, greed, and such kind of things. And because of that, they become proud, or revengeful, or sometimes envious. So what can we do with these emotions? Because these emotions are tormenting us so much, because of which we are repeatedly born in various species of life. I myself was in heaven. I became proud. I became envious of Brahmins, because of which now I have attained this lower state now. I have been cast in the body of a snake now. What to do with these emotions? I want to cast away these emotions by doing some meditation or something, but emotions cling on to me. They don't leave me. So what do we do with the emotions? So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, all our emotions should be dovetailed to the Supreme Lord. When that is done, the emotions become purified. And then he asked, how is it possible? I heard that many people, jnanis, they try to give up the emotions. They become emotionless. They want to become peaceful and silent. They want to go to 0, nirvana, or with no emotion. So Yudhishthira Maharaj said, emptying the mind of all emotions is practically an impossibility. Practically an impossibility. It's like trying to create a vacuum in a bulb with no traces of oxygen. It's very difficult. On the contrary, if you dovetail the emotions to Lord, like Arjuna exhibited his anger in the war, but he used the war for the pleasure of Krishna. So there is one famous verse by Narottam Thakur. He says, Kama Krishna Karmarpane Krodha Bhakta Dveshi Jane Lobha Sadhu Sange Hari Kata Moha Ishtalabha Vine Mada Krishna Gunagane Niyukta Karibe Yata Yata. He's saying, Kama Krishna Karmarpane, one should engage the lust in working hard for Krishna, he's saying. You see, lust and love both have a tremendous energy. You will see that. Like if a mother loves a child, she tightly embraces a child with affection. Similarly, the lust also has a very equal amount of force, but in the opposite direction. Lust is meant to exploit. Love is meant to serve. See, in both of them there is a vigor. In both of them there is a force. So he says that if somebody is feeling lusty, then Kama Krishna Karmarpane. One should use all one's bodily senses in serving the Lord vigorously and drain the lust energy from the body. There was one brahmachari in one one of the ashramas. Every day he used to go to forest to bring firewood. He would cut the trees, branches and bring firewood. He would fetch water. He would plow the field. He would milk the cows. He would bathe the cows. He would clean the ashram. He would cook the food. And in this way he would do gardening, everything. All day he would do, he'd be sweating many times. And one of the days when he brought the firewood from the forest, suddenly he saw in that firewood there was a white hair, long white hair. And he was wondering, where is this white hair coming from? Then he went to the ashrama and looked in the mirror. His whole hair and beard had become white, because he had become already 85 years old. He was wondering, I joined the ashram at 8, now I'm 85 now. So many 75 years had passed away. And he didn't even realize that the black hair has turned white. So all these years he has faithfully served the Guru. So he became so absorbed in the Guru, he never thought of any other enjoyment in this world other than service to Guru. Yasya sarve samarambha kama sankalpa varjitaha jnanagni dagda karmanam tamahu panditam buddha. If a disciple serves a spiritual master with no motivation and lives only for the pleasure of Guru and Krishna, such a disciple's karmic account is nullified. It's burnt to ashes. Such a devotee goes back to Godhead. We don't have to do anything. All our life, faithfully, loyally, serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And you will see that the bodily energy will be gradually drained off. His Grace Ravindra Swarup Prabhu was once telling in a lecture, one of the gifts that Krishna has given the living entities in this world is old age. He said, what is the advantage of old age? In old age, you will see that our digestion is not so good. Body becomes gradually weak as you get older from 50, 60, 70, 80. Even if one has propensity to enjoy, one cannot enjoy. Therefore, one also gets a notice from the body that, the clean face becomes wrinkled face, jet black hair becomes white hair, tooth start falling, one out, two out, all out, they'll be gone. And the body just like imagine when I was a young boy, in my school days, I was a part of NCC, NCC, National Cadet Corps. So they gave us a shoe. In our shoe, they used to put a horseshoe steel thing. So when you walk, it will make the steel will make sound. You wear the belt, you wear the cap with the brasso, all those things. Belt, when you walk, you feel you are going to take over the whole world. And of course, I was there for about 4 years or so. So they taught us how to use a gun also. So you would hold the gun and how to take off the bonnet and rush in the battle and attack, all that they taught us. So when we were young, I was just remembering how much proud, the youthful pride we call it. Youthful pride. The way we walk, the way we think about ourselves. So much bodily consciousness it is. But as we get older, we will see that the bodily strength diminishes. Varieties of diseases come into the body, complications. So that is one gift, he says, Ravindra Swarup Prabhu. Because why it is a gift? Our lust will be drained out from the body as we get older and older. Then one can turn one's attention to Krishna through prayerful mode, like that. Therefore, we should learn the art of dependence on Hari, Guru and Vaishnavas. I wanted to say a few words about it today, because today is Bhishmashtami. Bhishmashtami is the day when Bhishma was born. And Makara Sankranti, 14 January is the day when Bhishma left the world and went back to spiritual world. So, what is special about Bhishma? When Bhishma was lying in the arrow bed, at that time Lord Krishna arrived there with all the Pandavas. And Bhishma was so happy. In one of the verses he says, my dear Lord, I am now about to leave the body, but you are so kind that you have come and you are coming and sitting in front of me and giving your beautiful darshan. By looking at your charming face and smile, I will leave this, I'll cast away this mortal coil and I will ascend to the spiritual sky. So he's thanking the Lord for his association. Not only that, all the great personalities across the globe had come together. They were surrounding Bhishma. This is one thing in the Vaishnava culture you will see. When one Vaishnava is in danger, all Vaishnavas will come together to pray for the devotee and do kirtan for the devotee and help the devotee. In the same manner, every individual Vaishnava also feels the need for depending on other Vaishnavas. Every day, every Vaishnava feels that I am not potent, I am not powerful, I am not smart, I cannot be independent on my own. I need mercy. Okay, when how do you know that I'm feeling the need? I have to go to Bhagavatam class. I have to attend every day, and different speakers come and speak, and by hearing them, I will become enlightened by their mercy, and I will get more clarity of vision. Similarly, you go to the morning program, you go to the chanting. Today morning, I was telling the boys that this temple hall is not ordinary. In this hall, hundreds and thousands of Vaishnavas have come. They have done kirtans. Even His Holiness Kadamkanan Maharaj, correct, no? He has done hours and hours of kirtan. Such a pure chanting he does. So many great souls have come here like that, Maharajas, many Prabhupada disciples. If you see these teachings of Queen Kunti, Prabhupada, when he spoke on that, on either side, one side Mataji's, one side Prabhuji will be sitting, and between Prabhupada and Radha Govind deity, there is a ale, left empty. How many of you have seen that? You have seen that? Correct? It was Radha Govind deity only, correct? You have seen that video? You seen that video? Prabhupada sings Jaya Radha Madhava when he spoke teachings of Queen Kunti. Because when I saw the deity, I remembered they are the same deities. You have seen videos of Prabhupada? Which one? Yeah, it was here only, no? Yeah, the temple hall was full. Straight, yeah. So Radha Govind were there at that time, and then they came here. Correct. So like this, Prabhupada is sitting, Radha Govind is here, and then on either side devotees are sitting. So when Prabhupada is a pure devotee, our Acharya, founder Acharya, and if we sit in the temple hall and chant, we are within his merciful glance also. And the deities of the Lord are also getting ready to, Krishna is getting ready to go for herding the cows. So before that, Mother Yashoda decorates Krishna. So Lord is getting decorated, Acharya is sitting here, the temple hall is having spiritual vibrations. We should throw ourselves in that spiritual vibration. Then we will be enveloped by those vibrations, then we will be protected. So we should not leave the temple hall and go to some other room where we think I can chant alone. I know in Pune, people who chant alone in the room, they go to sleep also in the room. And sometimes they sit in a chair, they sit in a bed, and they slowly lie in the bed. And afterwards, along with the bead bag, they go to sleep. Actually, we all need each other's association for chanting. If I see 24 devotees sitting in the temple hall and chanting, then I get inspired seeing them. So I would like to chant in a place where more and more devotees are around, and that too in the temple hall, which is the place of Sankirtan. This is like a Yajna Konda, where the Sankirtan fire is happening. My spiritual master used to say, whenever devotees would raise the arms and chant Hare Krishna, Maharaj would say it's like lighting up the sacrificial fire, like this. And everybody's hand, the whole hall would be raising the hand up, isn't it? Because all the devotees are praying to Lord, everybody is in a mood of depending on the Lord. So that place becomes very vibrant, because Lord says, Yatra Gayanti Madbhakta, Tatra Tishtami Narada. So we should depend on each other's association and practice the path of spiritual life. So Bhishma is also doing that. Similarly, you see, when Parikshit Maharaj had to leave the body in 7 days, at that time he went to the bank of Ganges. Was he alone? All the sages and saints worldwide arrived there. Why? To give support to the king. On one hand, be available with him and encourage him. Plus, they also wanted to take association of each other. And also they wanted to take association of Shukadeva Goswami. So this is Vaishnava culture. They are not saying, okay, he has to leave the body, we have no problem. Let him go and leave. He's not alone. All the worldwide sages are coming together. That's why Parikshit says, Tammopayatam pratiyantu vipra Ganga cha devi datachitamishe Dvijopasishtas kuhakastakshako va Tashatpalam gayata Vishnu gatha. He's telling, why should I be afraid of leaving my body? He says. Why? Because I am sitting in the bank of Ganges and I am surrounded by so many saintly persons and they are all glorifying Lord Krishna. In this beautiful ambience, he says, I feel very cheerful and happy to quit the body and go back to Godhead. So in this way, Bhishma also left the body in that type of happy mood with Pandavas on one side, Krishna sitting on the other side, and surrounded by many, many great personalities across the globe coming. So I was telling you about engaging the lust in Krishna's service by varieties of services like this old brahmachari did, I told you. So we have to elevate our consciousness by connecting with higher frequency, because see, at every frequency certain vibrations are emanating. Just like our brainwave frequency between 8 to 13 is sattvic frequency. That's called as alpha. Alpha frequency we call it. 8 to 13 cycles per second. Below 8 is drowsiness. Below 3 you go to sleep. Above 8 is passion. When you go beyond 18 or 20, hyperactivity starts. In Japan, people whose brainwave frequency became 24 or 25, they died in the shop floor because of too much hyperactivity. They have a disease called Koroshi disease. So too much hyperactivity. So Kali Yuga is symptomized by two things. Laziness and craziness. Laziness is ignorance. Craziness is hyperactivity. So when we chant Hare Krishna, we come to that 8 to 13 cycles per second frequency, where the mind becomes calm, cool, collected, focused, concentrated. Clarity comes. You will be able to make proper decisions in everything. And a place which is spiritually vibrant also carries spiritual frequency. So why do we go to holy dhams? Why do we take water of the holy rivers and sprinkle on the head? Why do we visit such places? Because like you go to Gambhira in Jagannath Puri, that is the place Mahaprabhu lived there. So it carries a lot of vibration. So in this way, our lust can be drained out by seva. And anger what do we do with anger? Anger is a skrodha bhakta dveshi jane. Once His Holiness Chandramani Maharaj was telling one devotee in Pune, if you are very angry, use your anger to criticize the atheists and defeat their false statements. Can use their anger in that. And lobh, greed, what to do? Somebody is greedy for money, honey. Then what do you do with the greed? He says, lobh sadhu sange harikatha. Use your greed to take association of more and more saintly persons. Harikatha and association of devotees. Be greedy for that. Oh, there is one program going on there, let us go for that program. There is one program here, let's go there. Ramaraya Prabhu is going on Harinam, come let's join. Let's go there. Let us connect with his frequency and draw some association from him. He's such a good soul. Steadily for decades he's doing this Harinam Sankirtan, inspiring so many devotees. We should hook, just like you put your plug in a socket and charge your battery, charge your laptop or your mobile. We have to also connect to the socket of good association coming in varieties of forms, like the Lord coming as deity form, Prabhupada in his deity form, and the temple kirtan vibration, and other wonderful devotees. Why do we do hearing, chanting and all that? Because lobh sadhu sange harikatha. Be greedy for saintly association and hearing harikatha. Yeah. And then he's saying, moha ishtalabha vinay. He's saying, in this world, people become, mohit means engrossed completely. See, the word moha in this world means considering temporary to be permanent and permanent to be temporary. Considering impure things to be pure, pure things to be impure. That is illusion in this world. And when one considers such dirty things to be pure and advanced, in this world people are attracted to impure things of lust, anger and greed. So moha is actually becoming pagal, like a madness. But we can be mad after he says, moha ishtalabha vinay. One should be mad after Krishna and be determined that let whole world laugh at me, ridicule me, shout at me, relatives become angry on me, I don't care. Until I attain Krishna's lotus feet, I'm not going to give up. That type of moha we can have. Moha ishtalabha vinay. Mada Krishna guna gane, he says. And you can engage your madness in dancing in kirtan, madly. Like that he says. So in this way, Yudhishthira Maharaj told the snake that all these emotions can be connected to the Lord. And that is the way these emotions can be sanctified. When the snake, as soon as he heard this, immediately the coils of the snake dropped down, and out of the snake came a effulgent angel, like personality, who had beautiful earrings and mukut and nice dress, garland and garments and everything. He folded the palm and said, I am Nahusha, who fell from the heaven. Now that I got answers to my 2 questions, now I am ascending to heaven again. Thank you, Yudhishthir. Here is your brother. His life is spared. You can take him with you, he said. So now why did he get these 2 questions, I will tell you. Because he disrespected Brahmins. Therefore, he needed to hear about Brahmins' greatness and respect Brahmins. Similarly, he used his false emotions, which are like pride and envy and all. So he needed to know what to do with emotions. Same manner, every living entity in this world has taken on a material body because some questions have remained unanswered in our system. And when those questions are answered, those knots will be cut. And then cut all the knots you cut, one day you'll become free and go back to Godhead. But till then, there are many knots that are holding us. Because, like for example, imagine in your previous life you had a hatred for somebody. Therefore, you are reborn again. You have to work off that hatred. How? We have to learn to forgive, forget, and be friendly. Then that knot will be cut. So, similarly, somebody compares one religion and another religion, and all the time they keep talking about our country, other country, my religion, your religion. They have to be reborn again. Because if somebody becomes addicted to bodily consciousness, the foolish ideas should be removed for a period of time. False conceptions. Therefore, we are reborn again and again. The living entity takes birth in different bodies like this. So, the first thing that one should know is the difference between body and soul. And what is matter and what is spirit, and the controller of both, Ishwar. So, these are very fundamental things. And modern day education does not teach these fundamental things. Modern day education doesn't teach us how to liberate the soul from matter and how to help the soul go back to Godhead. So that's why Prabhupada is saying that real knowledge means, who am I? Who is God? Why am I trapped in matter? What is the method of liberating the soul from this material tabernacle with all the sufferings, and how to go back to Godhead? Srila Prabhupada ki. I can take one question, 5 minutes? Almost time now.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, President. Thank you for the very nice lecture. And towards the end, it was like an eye-opening climax. Why he asked those 2 questions. So my question was, as you said towards the end, as you were mentioning towards the end, as we get answers to our questions, we are cutting the knots and we are freeing ourselves. So sometimes,
like I should love Krishna, I should love all the living entities. I should not make differentiation between friends and enemies. If I have enemies, I have to be born again.
Yes.
Therefore, we should see that, like we say, Sarva Yonishu Kaunteya, Krishna says, Aham Bija Pradaha Pita. I am the father of all creatures. So if Lord is the father of all creatures, I love the Lord, then I have to love all his children also.
So, it leads to 2 things. One thing is sometimes we don't get those questions. And second one is...
No. You get the questions. You may not even know that. Like you can see, how will you know your mentors and your equals peers? They will tell you, in which areas that, for example, some of us are not very sensitive. Say, for example, we don't have proper etiquettes or behavior in dealing with certain people, and other people sometimes tell us. Like, for example, if you are leaving some place, you suddenly go away without telling that you are going to go out. Some people, without telling, they go out. And also table manners, we say, for example. Like, I am taking something, and you can ask others, would you like to take this? Like in the other day, we were in the flight. So my assistant was eating an apple. So just asked the neighbor, would you like to have one? And that fellow accepted. So he accepted apple prasad. When you are about to eat, if somebody is next to you, it's one of the etiquettes to ask them, would you like to have also? And if they say no thanks, at least you have asked. So now if I am not having that type of manner, that means I am deficient in proper manners, inattentiveness. So the inattentiveness is one weakness actually. Then we have to work on that weakness, how to rise above it. So like this, we have many things in our mind. Our mind is made up of scripts. There are some good scripts, there are some bad scripts. So unless we clear those scripts, we are not going to, like for example, we have the tendency to form groups. We say, we are Indian group, we are American group, we are Russian group. Actually, for Russian group is good sometimes because they can hear in Russian, helpful. But otherwise, when you are in the temple, whether you are Indian or American or Australian or Canadian, we all are Krishna's devotees. Everyone should talk to everyone else, and everyone. That's why Prabhupada's real contribution is what? He taught us to see that all of us are same quality jivas. And Krishna is our common father for all of us. So if we have a group forming tendency, we have to be born again. Yeah, because we have that tendency, we have to come to a point where we see all people as our brothers and sisters. Correct, no? Yeah. Similarly, some people are fanatically opposed to women, or some women are opposed to men. So they maintain some hatred. So they have to be born again. And then they have to work off that karma, give up that fanaticism. Like we say, either feminism or male chauvinism. This is the extreme. But what is ideal? One should actually see that all are jivas seated in different bodies. Whether you are a male or a female or animal or a bird or human. Correct, no? So we have many things, defects in us which we need to work. Either you are offensive or you are inattentive. These are two things. There is offense of commission, offense of omission. Now Gajendra in previous life was a king. He was doing offense of omission because he failed to respect that sage Agastya. Similarly, Indra also, he failed to offer respect to his guru when guru came. This is offense of omission. That means failing to do a etiquette also is an offense. And the offense of commission is what? Once Indra took his garland and gave it to an elephant, which trampled on the ground, that is offense of commission. Or Daksha Prajapati committed offense to Shiva. So we have to avoid offense of omission, offense of commission, both we have to avoid. By not doing something also we become offensive. For example, the altar is opening. We are just talking on the phone, not offering obeisances. It's offense of omission. Lord is coming and we are not welcoming Him. So therefore, in this way, we are committing innumerable mistakes, knowingly and unknowingly. And then eventually, Krishna will give us opportunities to learn. If we learn in this life, then we can cut off those knots. If we don't learn in this life, we have to carry forward in our mind to the next life. Then we'll clear it in future. Clear?
Yes. So I think this would have answered the second question also, but I'll just ask the second question. So I was saying the first question was sometimes we don't get questions, to which you answered. Then even if we sometimes get questions, when we get answers to those questions, the answers are not convincing enough. Then the question remains.
Then you should ask another devotee who can convincingly answer you. If one devotee's answer is not, like Chaitanya Charan Prabhu used to ask many questions to me, and I would give certain answer, but he was not fully satisfied with certain answers. Then His Grace Dhruta Karma Prabhu came to Pune. So I took Chaitanya Charan Prabhu to him and told, Prabhu, you are a scientist. You can clarify some answers to him. So when Chaitanya Charan Prabhu went to his room and sat 3 hours, when he came out, he was exactly like Nimai. After Diksha, Nimai came back to Navadvip. He was a Krishna-haunted man, no? Nimai. Like that, Chaitanya Charan Prabhu had completely become a transformed man. He said, Prabhuji, all my questions are cleared now. He's such a great scientist, such a great devotee. And that was a turning point in Chaitanya Prabhu's life. He became very humble and he understood all the answers to his questions. And he became a very vigorous preacher after that, because all the doubts were cleared off. Just like this snake I told you, he got answers to 2 questions. Chaitanya got answers to all his questions. And then he could move forward. If you are not convinced by answers of one devotee, you can ask another senior devotee. Find out, keep asking many seniors. Krishna may reveal answer to you through someone. Correct, no? Let's now you all take prasad, getting late for you. Huh? Srila Prabhupada ki, Granthraj Srimad Bhagavatam ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.